People like Janvier Harerimana, who is a driving school instructor, can only start their vehicles to ensure that they are still able to run after sitting for so long, and they wait eagerly for news that they too could be allowed to reopen. Driving school owners say the 7 months they have spent closed have seriously affected their establishments because of COVID-19, and they too, like their instructors, are waiting to be allowed to resume. And they are worried that the cost of resuming operations could be too much for them, taking into account that their vehicles will, in all likelihood, need extensive repairs and pass inspections, all of which costs money that they do not have. National police officials say, meanwhile, that a task force has been established to determine whether or not such schools also meet the preventive requirements to allow them to reopen. The way they were teaching people must be analyzed. How many people were sitting in their classrooms for the theory portion of the course, how social distancing will be respected with seats marked, how they will deal with the issue of one student using a vehicle for their practical lessons, only for another to immediately take their place after they exit. How will they clean the vehicles? These are all things they must think about, just as we, the police, are thinking of how people will be doing their online driving theory tests at our 18 centers, sitting arrangements, hand-washing facilities, and so on. Obviously, they have a big role to play in protecting their clients from this virus, and so we must all work together to ensure that they reopen as soon as possible, but only after preventive measures against this pandemic and its consequences have been given the priority. The head of the Rwanda Association for Auto Driving Schools says there is much to be done if the sector is to fully recover quickly. The police has its role to play in the recovery process of these schools, and so do we. One of which, like I told you earlier, being that all our vehicles pass inspections, and we must find a way to make amends with the landlords and ladies that own the properties in which we had been operating in. We will have to turn to banks to help us to get back on our feet. Rwanda has 88 driving schools, 65 of them part of the association headed by Vincent Twagiramungu. Estimates put the number of students that collectively pass through the schools in a month at between 3,000 and 5,000.